Sorry if the lighting is really bad in this video. It doesn't look too bad, but I need to get another bulb for one of my lights, and so I'm not using them. So hello! Hope you are all doing well. Did a poll on Twitter last week asking which video you guys would like to see next, and this video won hands down. So that's what we're gonna be doing. This is going to be a managing reading for fun and reading for school and uni and just schoolwork in general, because that's something I get asked about a lot. I got asked a lot when I was doing my undergraduate degree, and I've been asked a couple of times since starting my master's degree a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully I can provide some help with this. Firstly, one piece of advice I would give is to read different things for fun than what you're reading for school. I'm currently doing a master's degree of science, so I don't really read kind of fictional books. In my undergraduate degree there was kind of bits of philosophy thrown in there, and we would get recommended books, and when I did my A-levels I also did philosophy and we got recommended some fiction books to read that were similar. And I know that obviously if you do an English degree or that kind of thing, you're going to be reading books, and I found that when I had to read books that were for school, if I read a book for fun that was similar, it just reminded me too much of school and I didn't like it. Whereas if I totally separated the two things and read books that I was obviously still interested in but were just very separate to what I was studying, I could read them a lot easier and enjoy them a lot more because it wasn't making me associate it with studying. Number two, and this is important if you have felt as though your studying has kind of taken over and you're not in the mood to read for fun, I would heavily recommend rereading your favourite books. If you are in a reading slump, if you feel as though you've got loads of work to do and you're struggling to enjoy reading and read for fun and have that time, rereading your favourites is such a good way to get back into the swing of things, to put yourself back into a world. And if you are feeling tired or kind of very run down because of how much work, you don't need to focus on learning a new story because it's something that is already very familiar to you and will give you that comfort that it gave you the first time. I'd highly recommend Harry Potter. Number three, set a specific time that is for you and for your reading. Whilst schoolwork is very important, there are moments that you do need to have for your time, and you don't need to be studying 24/7, even if sometimes it feels like you should be. So I commute about an hour there and an hour back to go to uni not every day, a couple of times a week. When I go to uni, that's how long I commute, and as far as I'm concerned, that time is my time. Occasionally I might have to kind of just read a journal article really quickly or just go over some notes, but for the rest of the journey, that time is my time. Even if you can't do it both ways, even if you can't have free time both ways, maybe use one way for studying and the other way for reading for fun and reading for pleasure. No matter how long your commute is, even if you just walk and you're listening to an audiobook, or whether you just need to get a quick bus, or if you need to travel a long way like I do, it's, you know, just have that time for you. It's a time where you don't have to do anything else and it's yours. I've said this before with reading slumps, but also things like when you have a bath, you kind of just chill out, relax, read in the bath, because you're not going to want to study in the bath, but you can read for fun when you do that. And also in your evenings, have a time where you have finished your work and that's it, and you think, okay, this is it now I'm going to read for fun, and stop working. Similarly to that, number four is to know when to stop studying. And yes, school is very important, grades are very important, especially the higher you get up and you say you are doing a degree and stuff. And obviously, like, I'm doing a master's degree, stressful. It's like 3 weeks in and I've already got a lot of work to be doing. But you need to know when to stop, because if you carry on just pushing yourself, then you're just going to get really tired and you're not going to take it in anyway. And you need to know that studying is not everything you need to be doing 24 hours every minute of every day. School is very important, but so are you, and you are more important, and you need to have that time that's yours and to relax. Even if you do some studying and then go on a 15-minute walk, you can read on the walk. You know, have that time for you. And reading for fun can stimulate your brain in ways that schoolwork does not, because of kind of activating imagination and thinking and having to picture things, and it just can do a lot more, and it's still so good for you and still good for your brain. Know when to stop with the studying and know when to take that time for yourself and to have that reading for fun. Do not feel guilty for having it. Number five, get the work that you need to do done. And don't let it build up. And quite a lot of the time it's very easy to do it. If you miss a little bit of reading, or you miss kind of 1 or 2 lectures, things can start to build up on itself. But just try and make sure that you're on top of it as much as possible. And like I said, in moderation, make sure you know when to stop. But say at the end of every week you give yourself a day where you're going to get all your reading done and kind of planning and stuff done, and then it's done then, and then the rest of your time is your time and your free time. And you're not going to feel guilty when you're doing it. If you think, well, I've done enough for today, that's absolutely fine, you can read guilt-free. If you know that what you've done is you've gotten done, or you know that tomorrow you'll be able to finish it, you can read guilt-free. But if you're piling and piling and piling it and you've got so much to do, you're not going to enjoy reading for fun because you're just going to be thinking about all the things you have to be doing. I've been trying to do that, trying to at the end of every week kind of do a wrap up of what I've been doing, get on top of my reading and making sure that I do it so that I do have that free time still for myself. And just as a word of reminder, if you do find that you are struggling with keeping on top of everything, there are people that you can talk to at your uni or family or friends, and people that can help you deal with that and have that kind of deal with that pressure and kind of help you balance it out and feel better with the whole thing, because it can be very difficult. So there are people that can do that. And another thing which I get asked a lot, just as a quick little side note, is people ask me a lot about affording like uni and college specifically, and the money, and also books. Always go and check out your city, check out the libraries that are around, look at deals in local bookshops, get to know the second-hand books in your town, just see what is around. When I went to my undergraduate, I actually moved away for my undergraduate, and one of the first things I did was went and got a library card for the proper library and took books out there quite a lot of the time and got to know the shops around where I would get deals and books for cheaper and second-hand books. Kindle books instead, you can get Kindle apps on your phone and they're a lot cheaper, and you know, so it's all good. I actually made a video about books on a budget if that would help anyone that is going to college and uni, so I will link that down below, because loads of people said that video was really helpful and I spoke about some things that people might not have known about. So it kind of ties in. It's very expensive to do further education. It's good to know, if you do enjoy reading, where to get those things from. So those are just some of the things that I find help me and give me that little thing where I know that I can still read for fun even though I have work to do, and to kind of keep on top of that work. And to be honest, reading for fun is great and you shouldn't feel guilty about doing it, and you know, it's something that you want to do with your time, and you are perfectly 100% entitled to have that time for yourself in order to read what you want to read. And like I said, it makes your imagination work. You can escape what you've got and like the work that you have to do for a little bit, even if it is just for a couple of chapters. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other tips that you found help you, then leave them in the comments, because other people can see them and they might be able to help me, and they'll just help everyone, so we can all leave them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. If you are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and Harry Potter, so if you would like to stick around, you can press subscribe and the little notification bell thingy. And as usual, all my social medias are also in the description. Red on the road on everything. Thank you guys for watching. I hope we're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.